What's happening, everyone? We're back. I wasn't know if I was going to stream again, but here I am because I got like half hour free at least. So I'm back. I'm back to take a look at things, and if people want to vent about high fees or the bridge confirmations or claiming or whatever, put it in here. We'll have an objective conversation about it if you would like to do that. What's up, Vandale? Welcome, welcome. But I'm going to share my screen and take a look at some of the stats and stuff going on. So take a look at the validator numbers. So again, there was 4,096 Genesis validators. We are up to 7,520 now. Wow. It's almost like we're adding about 1,000 per day almost. I feel like maybe like 750 average, something like that. But yeah, it's been what, 4 days, and we've added around 3,500 validators or so. Pretty impressive coming online. APY is going down. Again, this number goes up. This number should go down in some form or fashion. Oh, total PLS staked 240 billion. Wow, that is cool. These stats are just super cool. Take a look at plsburn.com. So going on here, we got the bridge, total $29 million. Bridge claimed 14% has been claimed. Maybe that's what people are talking about, 85%. So a lot of it's Hex, DAI, USDC, ETH, and USDT. Okay, and then we got coins, the PLS. So again, circulating supply. I really like this site. It really breaks all this stuff down, a lot of numbers that were hard to get before. This was 11 billion earlier today. I was talking to Blue Bum. That was 11 billion. Pretty sure. Up to 12 billion now. And that's definitely higher as well. I think 731. Wow. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I would not pay attention to the prices because it's really, is that the 1 to 3? Okay. So is that pricing in ratios? Really? Incentive token is 108K impulse, 109 impulse. Yeah. Not sure about that. PulseX transactions, volume. Wow. Just liquidity. I mean, I think the liquidity is something we got to get figured out as far as what things go. But that's a lot of people complain about liquidity, prices not being right, all that stuff. But again, this is day 4, day 5. We're so early. I would not worry about anything as far as the network goes. I think all the stuff's going to get worked out. And Richard and the devs are on it. The validators number goes up. Not quite a hockey stick, but getting close to a check mark. Very cool. Gas prices, still not a fraction of a pulse. Maybe some of them are a fraction of a penny, but not the fractional pulse we were looking at on testnet and stuff for a while. So very cool here. I'll leave it on the coins for a sec. And say hi to chat. What's going on? The memes team, how's it going? Warfield, I'm doing all right. It's been a long day. It's I've been streaming as much as I can, live energy, and just to keep informed, talk to you all. Again, let me know your concern. I'm sure you'll let me know anyways what you're concerned about. I feel like I try to come at it with a different perspective and an authentic, try to be accurate sort of perspective on things. So let me know how you guys are doing as well. Shane, what's up, Shane? Welcome. Yurtle the Turtle. Yo. What's happening, man? Warfield, how do you perform your validator backups properly? Well, that's a great question. Let's head on over to the GitHub. So drop this in the chat. As usual, anybody want to be a validator, here is my guide and my scripts. So to do backups, we're going to scroll down to table contents, and we're going to go to the backup section. And then for Linux, if you're running your box at home, you can use rsync and crontab to automate some of the stuff. I'm not running at home. I'm running in the cloud. So I have not tested these, but I've used the programs and stuff before a little bit at least in different ways. So these are great guides I found. I looked up, I was like, okay, these look like good guides on how to back up your stuff there. And then the cloud, this tells you how to take snapshots, and you can take snapshots as well if you're using AWS. So I got all the steps on that. And I have a script called snapshot script. Let's see. Snapshot helper script. And this will take a snapshot of the blockchain data to move it around. So if you just want to if you're moving servers and you don't want to resync everything, I tested this on testnet. I haven't tested on mainnet, but I tested on testnet. Seemed to work fine. Takes a backup of your stuff, and so you can move it around. If you're using the cloud, you can just use the full snapshot deal and just move something to another server or whatever. But if you want to, if you're not using at home on your own server, then this will compress the Geth and Lighthouse blockchain data directories, and this tells you how to copy them over to your server, to your new server as well, and then tells you exactly what to do. It can take a long time. What is this? I think I wrote it in here. Transferring of the network can take a while. The whole process can take even a couple days to compress everything, depending on your server specs and all that. But there's a snapshot script. You can see it here. Where's the snapshot script? Do snapshot. And that's what it does. It stops the Geth and it stops your Lighthouse. So there will be some downtime. So there will be some downtime when you do this. Just keep that in mind. Takes the compresses the blockchain directories, and then does it not start it back up? Huh. My bad. I need to add. Did I somehow overwrite the? There should be a start command here too. Cool. Well, I'll update that. Let me make a note. Glad I looked at that. Definitely, the script should start. I mean, you can start it yourself. Obviously, it's not a critical issue or anything, but it should be starting them back up after it compresses everything. So yeah, I'll add that to the script. Cool. I always like questions that point out things that I forgot or didn't do. What's up, Duke O Booze? What's happening? Heck says, what's the current market cap of PulseChain? That's a good question. I'm not sure what the market cap is. So because the price is so unstable, it's kind of hard to come up with that right now. So I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some numbers floating out around there, but I would wait. I don't know. These prices, I don't really trust them. I'm looking on DexScreener. If you go to dexscreener.com/PulseChain, let's see. Transactions, WPulse. I don't know. I just can't trust all of these prices. So I think we're going to need some time for them to shake out and the liquidity to get fixed and all that stuff, and the network to just congestion to go away a little bit before we can settle on, okay, this is what the markets actually look like. So market cap PulseChain, some guesses right now, I guess. Just closing out some tabs I had open before. Go through the chat. Boring, you're a geek. Yeah. That's something I definitely agree with. Let's see. MA, what's up, MA? I built a test machine all the way to Validator that connected to the network from tested mainnet to sync another 48. So 2 questions. I guess you're saying, can I build a test machine all the way to Validator without connecting to the network? No, because the script is going to install Go, it's going to install Rust, it's going to install dependencies, and you're going to need to update the machine, and it's going to have to pull down the repos. So that connecting to, maybe you're saying connecting to the blockchain network. So after you run the script, it does everything but generate your keys, and import them and make your deposit. That's the 3 steps you need to do afterwards. So I'll read this in a different way. I built a test machine all the way to Validator without connecting to the network. Before you make your deposit, you want to make sure they're synced. So from test to mainnet, another 48 hours. Yeah, it's around 48 hours, 36, 48 hours to sync Geth and Lighthouse. And then another 16 to 24 hours to get activated on the network after you make your deposit. In that between time, so after you start the sync, you can generate keys on another box, all that stuff, follow the instructions. And then you have, you have a day or two to do that before it's fully synced, before it can even function. But if you make your deposit before it's fully synced and before it can function, then you join the network without being able to participate, right? If it's not synced, you can't participate. So you need to not make the deposit. Wait to make the deposit. Generate the keys, whatever you want in the meantime. Import them, but don't make the deposit until you're fully synced. Otherwise, you can get penalties and slash and all that stuff. So try it out in testnet. It's a lot of people found that out as well. What's up, Schmeggy Schmodler? Nice. What's good? Everything's good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Yeah, May, did you see Art's post with "Let Me In"? No. Did he post recently? Let's see. At some point, it'd be nice to not hang on every tweet RH does. I mean, I like the guy a lot, but it'd be nice if it wasn't this like twitching to check every tweet he does. But that's the way it is right now. They released, yeah, there is this Otter thing, which is apparently it says something about Aragon. So actually, I don't know what Otter is. Let me see. What is Otter? Otter scan. So it's another block explorer, looks like. Blazingly fast local Ethereum block explorer built on top of Aragon. Okay, so it's, I don't know, is the Beacon Explorer, or is the other block explorer built on top of Geth maybe? I don't know. Aragon has got a lot of improvement hotness going on from what I understand. Although I don't use it in my script. With Ethereum testnet, I was using that in Prism, but I didn't have a lot of luck, so I kind of pivoted. But that was just because I was new to everything. Cool. So another block explorer. Designed to be run with an archive node companion. Cool. It's fast. All that stuff. Yeah, I don't see any buttons where I can be like, show me this other thing though. I like the other block explorer because you can click on, you can view tokens and all that stuff. But so it sounds like less functionality, but really, really fast. Cool. Watching insane volatility and growing liquidity and pulsing up. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Let me in. Yeah, I know. That's funny. All right. Gas BS is an issue. So it's an issue. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Let me break this down. Gas fees are high because people are using the network. I know that sounds obvious. Let me frame this. So if they're high because people are using the network and they go up, the PulseChain price, could be up and down. We hope it goes up over time, but people are using the network. So the way I look at it is, would you rather them not use a network and there'd be a lot less volume? Because who benefits if they're using network? So validators, people collecting fees, all that stuff, they benefit. Onboarding, hey, there's a ton of volume. People using the network. All the people using the network, whatever projects they are, they're using PulseChain. So now the community likes PulseChain. Well, they're in PulseChain. So what is the trade-off? Well, the average user now has to pay higher gas fee. Okay. Yes. So why would that affect you? If you sacrificed, you probably have a ton of PLS. because it's plentiful. It was what, 10,000 per dollar, right? So you probably got, even if you sacked $1,000, you probably got a ton of PLS, plenty enough for plenty of transactions. Not that you want to spend them on it, but that's the way it is. It's a new network. If you didn't sack, well, then it's kind of chicken egg problem. How do you get PLS to do all the stuff? I get it. However, that it's a natural part of the blockchain. This is not something that like can be fixed, should be fixed, shouldn't happen. All these things are just feelings. Like there really are these emotions. And I know I acknowledge, I understand people out there are frustrated because, maybe you want to do transactions and you can't. And that's frustrating. I get it. But if you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, long term, maybe short term, pain, frustration, I understand. I got some, I got transactions and I'm like, wow, I don't want to pay that much to do them. Or, bridge transaction, all of a sudden, we're all waiting. We're all waiting for a lot of stuff to happen, to go through and all these things. But if you zoom out and you not just say, I'm mad because my transaction won't go through. Because what you're saying is, no matter what, I prefer my transaction for my trade or my bridge or my bridging, whatever. You're saying you would prefer that to work over anything else. You would rather the network have less traffic, there be less activity, less growth, less onboarding, because you want your transaction to go through. At the end of the day, you're I'm not saying you in particular, but in general, I'm looking at this ideal of gas fees shouldn't be so high. The bridge should be working. All these things. In my mind, there is no should. None of these things are supposed to just work all the time at launch. And it's even like, I don't like that people are being frustrated. I don't like that effect. But the fact that it's having such a just insane FOMO for people to get in and out and do all the stuff and pin up energy that they need to wait and further delay gratification, that seems to be a much better thing than a launch and everyone's like, hey, and then nothing happens. No one uses it. Being underwhelming, right? I think a new network launching to be overwhelming, even though there's some short-term pain, there always is with any product. It's not just blockchain, it's not just PulseChain. So any product launch that's highly successful, that is on the road we're on, there's going to be those things happen. So I've said before, at some point, a lot of people said this, I heard Dip Catcher say it too, and I kind of get it, I get a lot from him. I got this idea of like, hey, high gas fees mean people value the network. Ethereum, why is $100 transaction? That seems perfectly fine and natural in the GUI terms. Alex and Hedron was talking about this. But it just seems so high because in dollar terms, Ethereum is worth so much. If Ethereum is worth $1, paying that much GUI, nobody would be outraged about it, right? But Ethereum is worth thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So people are mad. So you gotta think about it like that. If you want to, you don't have to think about it like that, but I think that's a much healthier perspective, and it's more technically sound, and it removes just the emotion of not getting to do transactions that you want to do. When if you zoom out, there's plenty of things to be happy about the network having so much adoption already and so much volume. And if you participate in that, if you're a validator, if you're LP, if you're participating in the environment, then you're also incentivized to want that to happen. So I think the people who just aren't incentivized that much, or maybe just a pedestrian, hey, here's a new chain, I get it. We welcome you too. We want everyone to use and enjoy PulseChain. Come on in. That's awesome. However, you got to look at, you got to look at the incentive structure. You got to look at how networks work and what makes things valuable, people using them over time. Couldn't be more bullish on this launch. It exceeded my expectations in a good way. Again, I wish people didn't have to go through the pain. I get it. But if you zoom out, this is sort of what you want. You don't want users to be frustrated, but you want this much usage and volume and FOMO. So hope that helps. just wanted to kind of elaborate on that a bit, because I know a lot of people, have a lot of emotional responses to it. And yeah, I've did transactions, but God, why isn't this working? I've been waiting a day. Why isn't it working? I get it, but I keep that local. I don't go and like start blaming Richard and stuff for it as if it should be different. So yes, Otter is the new scan of view blocks. The new, I'm not sure it's replacing anything. I would say it's the new additional one. I don't think the other block support is going anywhere. It's too much. I mean, this one doesn't even have the color schemes of PulseChain. So, and there's a lot of other features I don't see there either. But I'm glad it's here. It's another tool we can use. All right. Riff Icarus, what's up? Welcome back. What is the best way to know your validator's up to date? Say if power internet goes out and turn back on. Are you looking at the message or block number? Best way to know if your validator is up to date. So there's two different things here on the power internet. So to know if it's up to date, interesting. I guess you just pay attention if there's like critical updates for the clients for consensus, such as what happened with V3 to V4. Otherwise, I mean, if there's just like little improvements that aren't changing the way that you participate on network, I wouldn't think you need to keep them that up to date all the time. Obviously, it's always good to keep them up to date, but so I have an update script here. So you can run this script and it will, you have to go offline, obviously. It will shut things down and update the clients and do all that fun stuff. So I have a script there. Scroll down to here. So, and then the second part, say if power internet goes out and turn back on. If that happens, then you just turn it back on, and you were just down for an hour or whatever it takes, or 2 hours. You may get penalized a little bit, but unless you're like really offline for a long time, I don't think you get slashed. You need to really be offline for a while. So are you looking at message or block number? I guess you could look in the debug logs too to see if you're like, when I look at Beacon Explorer, it says, it's not working properly or something, then you can check. Let's see. Yeah, you can check the system information, look at the debug logs, and be like, and it may say a message that's like, hey, I don't know, out of sync with the network, not validating, please upgrade. I don't know what if other, I don't know, actually, can other people send you messages like that and it be in the logs? I'm not sure. I think just every once in a while, if you're a validator, pay attention if there are big updates that change like the consensus in some way, or that change things that you definitely need to update for. I guess just keep up to date with that. But I don't think they happen very often now. I think people will be very loud about it when they do. Let's see. Click to view. Is anyone successfully bridged over ETH to Pulse or Pulse to ETH? Yeah. Sniggy, I'm gonna time out just for a second. Let's keep it simple in here. So everyone be a little bit nicer. So has anyone bridged successfully over ETH to Pulse? I think a lot of people are just waiting. They're waiting for transactions to go through, or waiting to claim. So it's a waiting game. There's 9 validators, 9 Genesis validators that are chosen to manage the bridge. And I said before, I'm not 100% certain. Maybe we'll get confirmation on this sometime, but it sounded like my speculation is the whole burning of the fees that's amazing and bullish for PulseChain. Didn't leave things left over, didn't leave enough for them to do bridge stuff, I guess. So I mean, it's an easy thing to overlook too. But dev team is on it, I'm sure. Not worried. You know, man, I can't explain it, but some PLS when I connected my wallet, didn't sack for PLS. Yeah, so you just got the same amount of PLS as Ethereum you had in your wallet. So you didn't need to sack for that. That's your copy. That's your world's largest airdrop copy. So you'll have a little bit of PLS if you had some ETH in there. Or if you had a lot of ETH, you'll have, I mean, low value PLS, but a lot in whole numbers, I guess. So that was a cool little thing that happens as part of the whole fork deal. DCA EX. Interesting. Yeah, I think, I mean, what is the general DC everything until the next bull run is what a lot of people have been talking about. I don't give financial advice in any way, but DCA is the strategy that a lot of people like. If you have one validator, how hard is it to add another validator? Already one connected. I haven't did it myself. However, it doesn't look hard. I added some information. Somebody asked about that the other day, and I added some information to the FAQ. So can you run more than one validator? Yes, you can. Adding more validators. There's a great guide on CoinCashew. This is a great website that has a lot of guides on how to set stuff up. Whoever runs it, shout out to you because you have been super helpful. And I have a little bit of information. Again, I haven't tried this, but this is just kind of what I extrapolated from their guide. And then I just, did PulseChain instead of what they were talking about. Yes, apparently it's not going to load, but I'll drop it in the chat. Check that out. But it doesn't seem hard. You just got to be very careful with your start index, your number of validators. You got to get those correct. So definitely read and make sure. And of course, your withdrawal address, the most important thing. Make sure you get that right. Make sure you always have access to that stuff. All right. Waiting for my bridge transaction, can I disconnect my wallet? Once you send a transaction, your wallet is just a client at that point, just like it's just kind of reading updates. So once you send a transaction, yeah, you should. I don't know why you couldn't disconnect your wallet. I guess, well, I don't want to say you can, because thinking of some things like some scenarios where if you want to still get updates on that website on PulseRamp, for example, I would leave my wallet connected in that way, or not disconnected, I guess. But in general, the transaction will go through. I guess worst case, if you disconnect it, you just won't get a update about it going through. I haven't did the full process end to end on the bridge yet on mainnet. So I don't know what it needs to tell you afterwards, if it needs you to claim or whatever. I mean, if it needs you to be interactive. So short answer, probably technically yes, but I don't know. So if you don't have to, I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to do it. Not advice in any way though, because I don't know. Heavy metal hexagon 2 bridge, too bad the bridge is backed up and wait 26 hours. Yeah, I know, man. We are all waiting. I am with you there. We are all waiting on this. Lots of people. Lots of economic energy. 35 trillion was market cap. I don't know if I want to come up with market cap or believe one until I get a stable price of PLS. And if you look at the price, it doesn't seem very stable so far. Again, please keep chat civil, everyone. Yeah, make sure you are not so don't know how many times we got to say this or how many people need to hear it. The forked copy of all the stablecoins from Ethereum are not redeemable on PulseChain, which means, in theory, they have almost no zero value. I think the full consensus is they will definitely not be worth the same. So what I'm doing is staying away from all of the copies. Stay away from all the copies that are PUSD, PDI, P whatever, until we either see they have some value, but people think they won't, or people bridge things in to give them some value. But I'm assuming they have zero value. So if you're buying them or you're trading them, you use your own judgment. Me and pretty much everyone else is assuming they have no value. So do not treat them the same. They are not the same. The copied over stablecoins are not redeemable. They probably have no value. The copied over stablecoins, the native stablecoins that were copied over from Ethereum on PulseChain, probably have no value. If you don't want something that doesn't have value, you would not trade for that. Appreciate it, Craig. Appreciate you showing up here. Cool Barnett, weird history. Yeah. I mean, sounds like in a good way, right? We are making history. Stream, happy to watch history happen. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I mean, again, I'm not concerned about PulseChain. I have no expectations, and the dev side of me is like, yeah, that's how this stuff works. That much FOMO is going to break stuff sometimes, and it's fine. Like, I don't know. Like, worrying about stuff you can't change, the more you yell, it's not like Richard sitting there and it's just like, oh, if only 1,000 more people yell that this isn't working, then I'll fix it. I think he knows it's not working. And I mean, there's a certain like social thing you can push people and all that to do stuff, but at a certain point, it's like you're just losing your own peace. Like I tend to optimize towards keeping my peace, and it's definitely a way to do that is not worry about stuff you can't change and not worry about stuff that's so short term. Like, imagine in 6 months from now, you're probably gonna be laughing about how worried you were about the bridge, about PulseChain price and all this. I mean, we can only hope, right? We can only, more than likely, at least the shape of the network. Forget about price, forget about any of this stuff. Worrying about, if you zoom out, think about yourself in 6 months, do you think you're gonna be laughing? Or are you gonna be like still mad about the bridge not working? Probably gonna be fine. We're all probably going to be fine. Scrolling. Can I give away some PLS in here? I'm sure you have good intention text, but maybe I don't know of a good way to do that. I don't know of a good way of doing that. So without people assuming you're scamming and stuff like that. So even if you have good intentions, yeah, appreciate you donating to the Validator. So it's cool. They could use it because they're burning all their stuff apparently. But yeah, if you guys want to give away stuff, I mean, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on Telegram. It's just it's hard to do it in a way that doesn't make people suspicious. But appreciate the goodwill. It's good to see. Arizona says, I was lucky to be able to use my one PLS before the bridge swap in Hexapulse. Nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah, hopefully in the next couple weeks, things will calm down and it'll be easier to do stuff on the network. Warfield, how do you achieve 100% effectiveness to your validators? I run 100 plus of them, but on average it's 88%. What could be the reason? Well, congratulations if you run 100 plus of them, by the way. I don't know. somebody asked this question before too. I don't know everything other than staying online, bandwidth, just properly functioning as a validator. I'm trying to think. I think on testnet, my validators on testnet effectiveness went down a little bit, and I have a very similar setup on mainnet, so I don't know why that was. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what is the checklist of having? Is there a list of things? If I do these things, I'll be 100%. I don't know. I think the basics were just stay online and make sure your clients are working properly. Yeah, not sure. If you're running a lot of them, it's probably, you probably have the resources to get some pretty beefy stuff and 100% uptime and all that stuff. So cool. Yeah. Again, please keep it civil in the chat. There really doesn't need to be conversations that's. Anyways, let's check around. Anything else going on? Yeah, again, like I said, I don't trust these prices until we get more stability. And yeah, you guys got any more questions? If not, I'm going to make this a short one. Yeah, I know. Smiggy, I would say everybody love everybody. I'll say that. Everybody love everybody. Just I prefer we keep it lovely. Keep it lovely in here, right? I'm gonna mod MA though, because MA, you've been around for a while doing good stuff, so you will be modded. You've been modded, sir. Or madam. I assume sir. Pepper's in the chat. There we go. Some humor. Anyways, I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Just want to give an update on that. Yeah, exciting stuff. Again, I would not worry about the bridge. I would not worry about fees. Talked about that already. May, what is the build time from blank to sync time frame? Well, blank. So you have hardware, you install Linux on it, preferably Ubuntu. That's what my script works for. Ubuntu 22.04. I don't know how long that takes. Maybe an hour or so. Then if you do it in the cloud, it's super fast. If you do it at home, I don't know, an hour. And then run the script. Takes 30 minutes to an hour. And then takes a couple days to sync. Generate keys, make a deposit, import them. Another day. So full turnaround, 2 to 4 days, depending on how fast you are. Maybe 3 days on average for full turnaround. A lot of people use desktop. You can use server, but desktop has a GUI environment. So for beginners, I would definitely say desktop. But either way. What's up, Hexagon Radio Network? Yeah. Hashtag replay game. Let me just say in a sec, but if you look back at the historical charts, it has been that easy for a lot of coins. If you just hold for, what is the generic phrase these days? Like, hold for 2 years. Hold for 2 years, you're good. And I think there's a lot of truth to that based on historical data on other coins and chains. What's the purpose of the new otter? I think the other one is just really slow right now and hard to index, or it takes a long time. So otter is just an alternative right now. Let's see if it sticks. All right. Cutoff's big pre. Just missing. Yeah, that is true. Have you read anything over yet? I've not been able to skip the line, Arizona. I've not. So I'm waiting like the rest of you to get some stuff done. What is Otter? Yeah, we talked about this. Richard talked about it. So it's just a different block explorer. So you can use it because it's fast and stuff. It's faster, but has less features than Scan. And PulseChain.com. So Scan.PulseChain has tokens and a bunch of other stuff too, and more beautiful. But Otter is kind of it's just another project, open source project we forked or otherwise set up to run on PulseChain. So it's just an alternative to look at transactions and stuff. Let's look at one real quick. Let's look at, yeah, this one happened 5 minutes ago. Copy it over, type it in. That is pretty fast. That is pretty fast. So just another block explorer. Is that your important thing? Makes sense? Cool. Everyone, I think I'll call it a night on that one. Look at my earlier stream if you want some more information. Covered a lot of stuff with earlier today with Blue Bum. And I should be on tomorrow. And I may take a break after that, because I've been doing like 1 or 2 a days for the past week or two. I don't know. It's hard to keep track sometimes. So appreciate you all. And Scivive at 5555. We are out.